Stop walking. I know that sounds extreme, but if you are over 65 and still relying on walking to fix stiffness, weakness, or balance, it is not working the way you think. Walking keeps you active, but it does not restore what your body has already lost. It does not reopen stiff joints. It does not rebuild stability. And it does not take your hips, your ankles, or your spine through their full natural range of motion. Medical research shows us a simple truth. When joints are not taken through their full range, they stiffen, muscles shorten, and your body starts compensating. Your lower back begins doing the job your hips should be doing. Your balance system becomes weaker. That is when even simple movements start to feel unstable. Walking is great for your heart, but it is not enough for your joints. It is repetitive, forward only. No rotation, no deep activation, no real stability challenge. So you keep walking, and your body keeps declining. In this video, I am going to show you 5 isometric exercises that target exactly what walking misses. These are not random movements. These are specific positions that restore mobility, rebuild stability, and retrain your body to move with control again. Stay with me until the end, because the final exercise reconnects your hips and your spine, something walking will never do. Before we begin, comment your name and where you're watching from. Let's build this community together. The first exercise is the deep squat hold. Most people over 65 have completely lost this position, not because their body is incapable, but because they have not used it in years. And when you stop using a position, your body loses access to it. Your hips tighten, your ankles stiffen, and your lower back starts taking on stress it was never designed to handle. Medical research shows that when joints are not taken through their full range of motion, they become restricted. Surrounding muscles shorten, joint lubrication decreases, and movement shifts into compensation patterns. That is why so many people feel stiffness in their hips and pain in their lower back at the same time. Walking will not fix this. Walking keeps you in a limited range. It never takes your hips or ankles into deep flexion. It never restores the positions your body has lost. This hold does. To perform the deep squat hold, stand with your feet about shoulder width apart. Turn your toes slightly outward. From here, slowly lower yourself down into a deep squat. Keep your heels flat on the ground and your chest as upright as possible. Your hips should drop below your knees if your mobility allows it. If you cannot get all the way down, that is not failure. That is information. It means those joints have been restricted for a long time. Hold on to a countertop or a sturdy surface if needed. This is not about balance. This is about restoring position. Start by holding for 20 to 30 seconds. Over time, build up to 60 seconds or more. Most people make the same mistakes. They lift their heels, they round their lower back, or they drop too quickly into the position. That removes the benefit. Control is what restores function. You should feel a stretch in your hips and opening through your ankles. You should not feel sharp pain. If you do, you are forcing a position your body is not ready for. When done consistently, this one hold begins to reverse years of restriction. Bending over becomes easier. Getting down to the floor feels natural again. And the constant pressure on your lower back starts to decrease because your hips are finally doing their job again. If you're doing this with me right now, comment 1 below. That tells me you're not just watching, you're actively rebuilding your strength and mobility. The second exercise is the 90-90 hip hold. This is one of the most important movements your body has likely lost, and most people do not even realize it. Hip rotation is one of the first abilities to disappear as you age, especially after years of sitting. And once that rotation is gone, your hips become stiff, your movement becomes limited, and your lower back starts taking on more stress than it should. Medical research shows that limited hip rotation is directly linked to lower back pain and reduced mobility. When your hips cannot rotate, your spine is forced to compensate. That is where stiffness turns into chronic discomfort. Walking will not restore this. Walking is forward only. It does not train rotation. It does not take your hips into the positions they were designed to move through. This hold does. To perform the 90-90 hip hold, sit on the floor with one leg in front of you and one leg behind you. Both knees should be bent at 90 degrees. Your front leg should be roughly in line with your body, and your back leg should angle out behind you. From here, sit tall. Keep your chest open and your spine upright. Do not lean to one side. Do not collapse forward. The position only works if you stay aligned. If this feels difficult, That is expected. It means your hips have lost access to this range. You can sit on a cushion or a yoga block to make the position more accessible. You can also use your hands behind you for support. Hold this position for 30 to 60 seconds on each side. Focus on slow, steady breathing and allow your hips to gradually relax into the position. You should feel a deep stretch inside the hip, not in the knee, not sharp pain. If you feel pain in the joint, you are forcing the position too aggressively. With consistent practice, your hips begin to open. That tight, stuck feeling starts to fade. Movements become smoother, and your body regains access to a range of motion that walking alone will never give you. If you feel how tight one side is compared to the other, comment 2 below. That tells me exactly where your body is restricted and that you are starting to fix it. The third exercise is the bird dog hold. This is where most people realize the real problem is not strength, it is control. Your core is supposed to stabilize your spine every time you move, but over time, that system weakens. And when it does, your lower back takes over. Medical research on spinal stability shows that when the core cannot properly stabilize during movement, the body compensates by tightening the lower back. That is one of the most common reasons people experience chronic stiffness and pain. Walking does not train this. Walking is passive. It does not challenge your spine to stay stable while your limbs move independently. This hold does. To perform the bird dog hold, get on your hands and knees. Place your hands directly under your shoulders and your knees under your hips. From here, extend your right arm straight forward and your left leg straight back. Your arm and leg should be parallel to the ground. Now hold. Keep your hips level. Do not let them rotate. Do not arch your lower back. Imagine there is a glass of water sitting on your lower back and you cannot spill it. Most people make the same mistakes. They lift too high, they rush the movement, or they lose control and start shifting their weight. That removes the entire benefit. Hold for 20 to 30 seconds on each side. Breathe slowly and stay in control of the position the entire time. You should feel your core working, your glutes engaged, and your spine stable, not strained, not compressed. With consistent practice, your body relearns how to stabilize under movement. Your lower back stops overworking, and everyday movements start to feel more controlled and less painful. If you can hold this without losing balance, comment 3 below. That tells me your core is starting to come back online. The fourth exercise is single leg balance. This is where independence is either maintained or lost. Balance is not just about standing still. It is a direct reflection of how well your body can stabilize itself in real time. And once that system starts to decline, your risk of falling increases dramatically. Medical research consistently shows that reduced single-leg balance is one of the strongest predictors of fall risk in older adults. Not strength, not walking speed, balance. Walking does not train this. Walking uses both legs. It allows your body to shift weight without ever fully stabilizing on one side. This hold forces your body to do exactly that. To perform single-leg balance, stand tall with your feet about hip-width apart. Shift your weight onto one leg and slowly lift the other foot just a few inches off the ground. Hold that position. Keep a slight bend in your standing knee. Do not lock it. Fix your eyes on a point in front of you to stabilize your focus. Keep your body upright. Do not lean or tilt to compensate. At first, this may feel unstable. That is the point. That instability is showing you exactly where your weakness is. Hold for 30 to 60 seconds on each leg. As you improve, you can make it more challenging. Close your eyes. Stand on a soft surface. Slowly move your lifted leg while maintaining control. You should feel your ankle, your hip, and your core working together to keep you stable. Not panic, not tension, controlled stability. With consistent practice, your body becomes more responsive. You feel less wobbly, and you regain confidence in movements that used to feel uncertain. If one side feels noticeably weaker, comment 4 below. That tells me exactly where your balance needs the most work. The fifth exercise is the prone swimmer ISO. This is the one most people skip, and it is exactly why their posture keeps collapsing. Upper back weakness is one of the most overlooked problems after 65. Years of sitting, leaning forward, and relying on the front of the body create a constant pull that rounds your shoulders and weakens the muscles that are supposed to hold you upright. Medical research on posture shows that when the upper back muscles weaken, the body shifts forward. That increases stress on the neck, compresses the spine, and reduces your ability to maintain an upright position without fatigue. Walking does not fix this. Walking does almost nothing for your upper back strength. It does not train the muscles that keep your shoulders back and your spine aligned. This hold does. To perform the prone swimmer ISO, lie face down on the floor. Extend your arms overhead in a Y position, about 45 degrees out from your body. Keep your legs straight behind you. From here, lift your arms, your chest, and your legs slightly off the ground. Hold that position. Keep your eyes looking down to maintain a neutral neck. Squeeze your upper back, not your lower back. Engage your glutes to protect your spine. Do not overarch. The tension should be in your upper back and shoulders. Hold for 15 to 30 seconds. Most people will feel this immediately, not because it is intense, but because those muscles have been inactive for years. As you improve, increase the hold time. You can also hold light water bottles to add resistance, but only after you can control the position. With consistent practice, your posture begins to change. Your shoulders come back, your spine aligns, and the constant tension in your neck and upper back starts to release. This is also the piece that reconnects your upper body with your hips through the spine, restoring full body coordination that walking will never train. If you feel your upper back working in a way it has not in years, comment 5 below. That tells me your posture is finally starting to come back online. Now step back and look at what you have. This is not a random list of exercises. This is a system. Each movement targets something walking completely misses. Together, they rebuild how your body actually functions. Here is how to use it. Start with the deep squat hold for 2 sets. This opens your hips and ankles and prepares your body for deeper movement. Then move into the 90-90 hip hold for 2 sets on each side. This restores rotation and unlocks stiffness that has been building for years. Next, go into the bird dog hold for 2 rounds. This reconnects your core and teaches your spine how to stay stable under movement. Then perform single leg balance for 2 sets on each leg. This builds real stability and reduces your risk of falling. And finally, finish with the prone swimmer ISO for 2 rounds. This restores your posture and strengthens the upper back muscles that hold everything together. In total, this takes about 15 to 20 minutes. That is it. You do not need longer workouts. You do not need more exercises. You need the right ones done consistently. Because your body does not change from more movement, it changes from the right movement, repeated often enough for your system to relearn what it has lost. Now step back and see this clearly. You are not wrong for walking. Walking is good for your heart. It keeps you active. It keeps you moving. But if walking is all you do, you are missing the most important pieces your body needs after 65. Walking does not restore lost mobility. It does not rebuild stability. And it does not correct the patterns that lead to stiffness and pain. These exercises do. They reopen the positions your joints have lost. They retrain your body to move with control. And they reduce pain at the source, not just the symptom. That is why they are better than walking. Not because walking is bad, but because walking alone is incomplete. This is what completes it. Start small, stay consistent, and give your body the chance to relearn what it was designed to do. Because the difference between feeling stiff and feeling strong is not your age, it is how you train. And once you understand that, everything changes. If this helped you, share it with someone over 65 who still believes walking is enough. And subscribe for more simple, proven ways to stay strong, stable, and independent.